and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. And I have just received this online exclusive product called Trucking Along Stamp Set and Coordinating Punch that you probably can't see. You can see my top. But what it does is you can stamp and then just punch that out. Oh, turn it that way. That makes more sense, Heather. Or you can simply just punch out the individual pieces. And I've just used white to show the difference between the wheels and the window there. And then you've got this kind of, I don't know what you call them, fender? I don't know. Wheel arch type thing. So yeah, that's what the punch does. The stamp set, you can just do what I've done there and just do the outline with this one, and I used this one here for the tires. And you've got all of these different things that you can build up little scenes. These things go in the truck bed, and I have a little one that I played around with earlier. Stamped that, and I've got the Christmas tree, 2 layers, and the little fancy type thing I just stamped once with the solid one. The gifts, the infill one does the fresh freesia. I then coloured in the other white bits with Bubble Bath Stampin' Blend, and similarly with these flowers, stamped the outline with Basic Grey, and then the infill with Fresh Freesia, and then I just coloured in the stems and the leaves with Lost Lagoon, I think I did, Stampin' Blend. So you can mix and match your colouring is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, played around with that very briefly, and now I'm going to make a card. I'm not going to use the punch. I know there have been supply problems in the US. I think the bundle sold out pretty much within hours. But that does mean that lots of people have got it. So let's demonstrate it. I am doing this card. This is still in stock in the European markets. And obviously that's where I'm based. That's where what I'm trying to sell. So I am doing a fun fold card. It is called a joy fold, and I've already gone ahead and cut out the pieces, so you don't have to watch that, because really I just want to play with this again. And all of these measurements will be on my blog post. This is in centimetres, because that's what a lot of my customers in the UK and Europe use. Okay. So there will be plenty of other tutorials elsewhere for a joy fold card in inches. I am absolutely sure of that. So card base, 21.5 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres, and I've scored that at 7 centimetres there. Designer series paper, I've got 2 panels that are 6.5 by 10. One to go in there and one to go on there. I've got my usual DSP panel for a normal size card that I make, and this is 10 by 14, so that goes in there. And then with the other piece of basic white thick card, so this isn't thick, this is normal and it's a bit grubby, but you would cut it, because that's only 21 centimetres that way, you need to do the 21.5 that way, and then you can get both parts out of that and a bit left over, and you can obviously do that bit as well. So this piece, did I tell you, 8.5 by 20 centimetres. And then I've got a piece of crushed curry to put on 9.5 by 8. And then I've got my 9 by 7.5 I'm going to stamp on. So I will glue all of those bits together. This is the fun bit. This is what I want to do. So I'm going with an old olive truck. This one that I stamped earlier was wild wheat. But my ink pad is so juicy on that it's quite dark actually. So I'm going to go old olive, and I'm going to put the sunflowers in it, and obviously I want crushed curry to go with the DSP that I've picked out, and basic grey. So I found with my little play that it was easier to do the infill stamp first. Okay, so got that all inked up. There's a tiny little bit missing on the door. That's it. Maybe got too much ink now. So I want my little truck to be around about there because I want to put some ground underneath it and a sentiment above it. Okay, so just giving that time for that ink to move onto my paper. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. And then in my outline rather, basic grey. That's all nicely coloured. Now, you will probably be able to see this better than me because I can't get right over it, or you wouldn't be able to see. I am trying to line up the window and the wheel arches, and anything else in between would be good. I don't know if I've got that or not. It's close. If it's not right, it's close. So see, when you're doing it, you can get your head right over. When I said it was close, it wasn't close enough. I've gone that way. Never mind. Never mind. I'm going to show you a little trick rather. I'm not a huge fan of these white bits. I know it's good that it shows you some kind of shading, but I just think it's a little bit stark. So I've got my light old olive Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to colour those bits in a little bit. I'm a lazy colourer, so I do like the infill stamp. But when you don't get it quite right, Stampin' Blends come to your rescue. There we go. I think that's slightly better. Then there's a little stamp that says Farm Fresh. I'm going to stamp that with a basic grey. Sorry, I am going to move this down a wee bit again. Onto the door. Could have been a little bit higher up, but never mind. And then the outline for the flowers. And I just want them to line up with the bed of the truck. Like that. I think I'm done with, oh no, I'm not done. Right, before I do the flowers, I'm going to show you my little tip for the tires and wheels. So, the first time I did it, I could not get them to line up at all. And I realised what I'd done was that my stamp was kind of not quite right, not quite straight. So, easier way to do it is line it up on here. Just move it around till you think you've got it right. And again, I'm going to bring this further down to me. Give me a half chance. There we go. I think I've got that right now. Okay. Then put your block on it, ink it up, and do it all over again. I love two-step stamping. I really, really do, but I hate doing it on video. So it never quite works out right because I can't get to see it. You can, but I can't. And again, slightly off. And I can, so it doesn't look like it's got a flat tire. Let's just fill that in. That's a little bit better. Not too fussy about the centres. Right, okay, that'll do. Right, last bit of, I'm going to keep that there. Last bit of two-step stamping, and hopefully this one goes better, is my little flowers. And again, you could just colour these in yourself and not bother with the infill stamp. That was even worse. But we're getting used to that now. And then I didn't want to use Old Olive, so I've gone light shaded spruce. Probably doesn't help that I don't even have my glasses on. Let's see if I can just fill that little bit there. It's awfully white. But yeah, if you love colouring, this is an awesome set to just colour. Right, so, sentiment. Sending you sunny thoughts. Down there. It'll do. And then there is another stamp. Let me get this one off in here. So you could build up scenes with little trees and clouds and whatnot as well. But there is another stamp that has these little lines to give it a bit of a grounding. This one doesn't matter if it's entirely straight because it's just lines. Right, so this time I'm gonna actually stamp that close so that it's behind the tire, if you see what I mean. Because I'm using the same colour for the tire and the road, it kind of doesn't matter that I've stamped over the tire. It would if I'd stamped over the white. And then I'm going to turn it around. Am I going to turn it around? Yeah, I'll turn it around and do it again, but slightly off there. So I've got more of a road, and I could do it again actually. Why not? Again, just do that there. So a little bit more to bring it down here. Alrighty, let's get assembling. I might redo that, but then I might not. Wait and see on the photos. Okay, so lots of bits of paper. Just to add on here. So I've given you the measurements for this card, all the pieces at the beginning, but they will be in my blog post. You'll get a link to that blog post in the description for this video. And there will also be links to my online shop for these products. Now remember, this Trucking Along stamp set and punch is an online exclusive. You will not find this in any catalogue, so don't bother going looking there. Get to my online shop and then you'll find it there while stocks last. Alright. And I can totally understand why this sold out so quickly in the US. Especially for the Christmas tree. And the stamp set does have wishing you a festive Christmas sentiment as well. So I'm putting that on with that bit there. Okay. So much glue on my hand. And again, just squidge that around until we are happy. That's why I absolutely love liquid glue. I don't have to get it right first time. It's always good for me. Right, so I want this to be kind of centered. That way and that way, that way and that way. Okay, happy with where that is. I'm going to add my glue to this back panel. I'll flip that back over. But again, because it's liquid glue, if it has moved out of place, I can just gently move that around. Happy with where that is. Give that a good press now. So lots of room to write on here. And it stands beautifully like that. Now I did consider bling and I thought maybe the rustic metallic dots, given the rustic farm fresh thing, or totally bling it up with iridescent pastel gems. What do we think? Yeah, it's got flowers, I'm going gems. Righty-ho, where is me? Take a pick. One there. These ones are huge, aren't they? And I'm going to put one over here. And another one. Oops. Got it stuck to the putty the wrong way around. Let's try that. Oh, it's stuck to my nail now. You will come off. And there. So I've got a triangle. Yep, happy with that. And there we go. So this is just using the Trucking Along stamp set, but you can get the punch in my markets at the moment. Hope you've enjoyed seeing this. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to click on that subscribe button. Click on the bell, get notification the next time I upload a tutorial. Until then, please do take care. Bye.